Baby, trust already, yeah. I'm thankful that you did me wrong, cause now I got it right, I promise you gon' miss me gone. I done seen it all like the first picture phone. They wishing on my downfall with the wishing bone. Baby, trust already, yeah.
As to count 60, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, how do you plead?
No law.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge, how do you plead?
No law.
I think you didn't ask about count 62.
As to count, thank you, Your Honor. As to count 62, possession of a machine gun, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to the offenses you have indicated because you are in fact guilty of these charges?
Yes.
And Shauna,
Spooky hours. Now, unless you was on Cloud 10, I know around. How you heard the motherfucking word? What's good, y'all? It's yours truly. Once again, HeartBreak Ace. Familiar with my content or not, hit that like, comment, subscribe so the algorithm gives breaking content every time I upload. In the words of my guy, Young Thugger, man, free Thugger till it's backwards. I'm gonna take this motherfucking trial if you got a problem with me. Literally. That's what my guy did, man. Now, algorithm. I ain't got time to play with you. Make sure the people get these videos so they can like and subscribe. I have to break your jaw, man. On behalf of my guy, Young Thug. But nah, man, I really literally just uploaded a video about will my guy, Young Thugger, Jeffrey Williams, take the plea deal that they've been giving all these YSL RICO crybabies. Well, before I even get a chance to upload it, from the time I'm making this video, not even 20 minutes ago, news just came in, which I'm about to play for y'all right now. My guy, Young Thug, just pleaded guilty in the YSL RICO case. Yeah, I know, man. Before I give you my commentation and break down how I feel about the situation, you already know what we doing. The op might not be on the block because they were trying to get my guy Thug and it looked like they got him. Who knows? But I'm going to go make sure my guy good anyway. So you already know what we doing on my block. I know it's Halloween, so if you're scared, stay home. I get it and I understand. Mask on and mask off. Let's spin the block.
and a rapper Young Thug is now pleading guilty in what has become Georgia's longest-running criminal trial. The plea just announced in Fulton County Court just minutes ago. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was indicted in 2022 on racketeering charges. Prosecutors say the rapper led a street gang that committed murder, armed robbery, carjackings, and also dealt drugs. Nearly 30 other co-defendants were named in this case. Young Thug's trial has been plagued by problems, including two judges having to recuse themselves and mounting concerns last week that a mistrial could be ordered. Let's bring in ABC News legal contributor Shauna Lloyd now, who joins me with more. Shauna, talk to me first just about the state of play in this trial and remind me, frankly, of how long this has gone on. It is the longest running criminal trial in Georgia history. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. And it's amazing that this has been going on for more than 6 months. We have been here following this trial. It is one of the longest trials that Georgia has had. That says a lot about the state of this trial and how many witnesses the state has been calling. So now that we see this plea deal, I'm not very surprised by it because I think both sides were trying to mitigate damages here.
And Shauna, very quickly, I do want to play for you images that just came into us. It is Young Thug taking that plea deal in court, and then I'll have you react on the back end. But here is what just played out in court just moments ago.
As to count 60, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, how do you plead?
No law.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge, how do you plead?
No law.
I think you didn't ask about count 62.
as to count, thank you, Your Honor, as to count 62, possession of a machine gun. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to the offenses you have indicated because you are in fact guilty of these charges?
Yes.
And Shauna, something that I heard there, tell me if I'm wrong here, is to some charges he's pleading guilty, to some charges he's pleading nolo contendere, which means no contest.
I mean, I didn't really see this coming. I really didn't. I kind of don't even know what to say right now. What led to this point? Why they decided to go ahead and go on with this? Well, I'll let them explain it to you before I give you my breakdown. Let's spin the block again.
Witness who divulged sensitive information on the stand, and there were these concerns that there could be a mistrial, and essentially you'd have to start the clock all over again, and you'd have to have this long trial all over again. How did we get here to this point where prosecutors and defense attorneys obviously wanted to deal?
I mean, what we're really seeing is that misstep could potentially have created a mistrial, and the judge looked like she may have been leaning towards granting that. So that leaves exposure on both sides. That means the state has to determine to bring this trial again, and he would have to stand again for another trial. So what you see here in this plea deal is both sides gave a little bit. He pleaded no contest to some of the charges. The direct charges that were linked to him directly, such as the possession charges, he did plead guilty to. And the state gave up the opportunity to get a full conviction. They're getting a lot of probation here in this particular plea deal in order to get those admissions of guilt. So both sides had to give a little bit, but in the face of a mistrial, when we're talking about the longest running trial in the history of Georgia, was really both sides trying to get what they wanted, their main objective out of this, and they each got a little bit.
And explain to me why this trial went so long. It was a RICO case. It was just simply the fact that there were so many defendants and there was so much evidence to...
All right, y'all, there you have it, man. Another little 5-10 minute swerve, man. So up on the block, you know I got him. Now, what this mean for my guy Thugger, man? I can understand, like they were saying, if they would have called this a mistrial, they still had a chance to try him again. But they had 45 days to come up with a case that was reasonable in trying, like I just recently mentioned. But I can imagine they probably could have did that because they didn't want to take this loss. So they would have been having a long trial again. They just said it was the longest in Georgia history. Probably one of the longest in history of any kind of trial of a celebrity. Literally, I think this probably one of the longest one ever. And you got to understand the time from home and the resources, the draining him, he just gave it up. Not all the way gave it up, because you heard him say no contest to some of those charges. They basically gave him the charges that he was directly with the gun possession and all of that. But those simply could be probations. That don't mean he's going to be going to jail for the RICO. That simply only can mean probation for those charges that he got. But it could be a 15 to 20 year probation. So, is this a win for Thug? I think it's a win for both sides. They got what they wanted a little bit, and Thug got what he wanted a little bit. He didn't get to come out scot-free, which we know that wasn't going to happen. Because we know he's at least guilty of something. Not necessarily guilty of what they were trying to say in the RICO cases, like the murder of Donovan Nutt Thomas, which they still didn't put on him. This was the whole reason for this RICO case. Because like I told y'all, the actual killer of Donovan Nutt Thomas is Methodist, I don't recall, YSL Woody, the one they gave immunity to, the one that's home enjoying his life, getting to the bag. That's the real killer. That's the one that should have been doing the time for this. But they used him to try to get Young Thug, and it didn't work. But like I always been screaming the whole time, they were gonna find something to stick on Thug. There's too many resources. They made the state look like a fool, a clown. They had to do something. Let's just hope, even though it might be a million years of probation, let's just hope this definitely means Young Thug's coming home real soon. Cause he going on what, 3 years? Next year, yeah, it'll be 3 years almost that he's been incarcerated with his fighting and trial. Been almost 200 days. Well, we now finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's over. It's finally over. And what we can say about Young Thug, he kept it solid. All the way to the end till he got him a plea deal. We have not heard him speak this whole entire time until now. And all he said was guilty, guilty to this, guilty to that, no contest. He ain't say nothing about nobody or anything. So he's still bout it, fool. The illest one in Atlanta. Probably one of the illest one in the world that actually stand on what he's talking about. So salute the Young Thug, man. And like I said, until he actually home, free Thug until his backwards, man. But this was just some breaking news, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But like I said, man, he don't want to keep fighting his case. And who can you blame? Like, it cost $1 million to get to this point where he can kind of get off a little bit scot-free. But I am upset, man. I am very, very upset. Because the whole point of this case was because who killed Donovan Thomas. Ain't nobody went to jail for that. But Young Thug had to suffer the most out of this situation. Literally. He had to suffer the most out of this situation. And, of course, the family of Donovan Thomas. I can imagine they want justice for that. But we didn't get it. Just like the Tory Lane shit, another circus act. Publicity. Y'all watch some young street thugs that the system loved to label as dumb. A statistic. Play y'all. All y'all women that went to college and got your degrees and lawyer, all that shit, the justice system, all y'all got played for fools. Because like I said, being smart is not better than being street smart. Being smart just means you can remember something repetitive. That don't mean that you actually smart. Being street smart, you gotta learn how to read between the lines. You gotta learn to be steps ahead. Always playing chess, even though if you don't know how to play chess. This is a fact. And they just proved that. We had to see the end of this anyway, man, because everybody was taking plea deals. And because of that, if Thug probably would have took it to trial, they would have got him on this. He knew that. This is his window to get out. I'm going to plead guilty to the bullshit. I get pleaded guilty to the gun charge and all that I wasn't supposed to have. Probation. Probation. But very, very entertaining, man. A good way to wrap up the year, I should say. Unfortunately for us, though, by the time I'm making this video, it's Halloween the 31st. So we still got almost 2 months left before the end of the year. And best believe it will be more stuff that's going to break the internet. I just hope it's in a good way. But in the world that we living in, it probably won't be. But until next time, man. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how y'all feel for real. Now, I don't know, but by now the world should be showing y'all. Because it definitely showed me. Why I always tell y'all to love each other. Till next time. Yours truly, HeartBreak.